Whoa, sound effects. The next topic is White Jesus has depression. Okay.
That is
Way
a
to
topic.
change the tone.
Yeah.
Way to change the tone of the
real
show.
Quiet in this room.
I'm glad I just had ice cream, man.
Happy you did, but I say
Okay, you know what? This topic is called Why Jesus Has Depression. And this past week, I got depressed.
Before you get into the topic.
Yeah.
You want to let them know what is depression, because there's a lot of people out there that may be suffering from depression and really don't know it's depression. You understand what I'm saying? So speaking on depression, and if you're a listener that's listening out there and you've been having some symptoms that you don't know what it is, you might be suffering from depression.
It's like a morbid Jeff Foxworthy book. If you do this, you may have depression.
Yeah.
Like you might be redneck.
Yeah.
Okay. I was diagnosed with severe depression when I was 16, and actually put immediately in a hospital for like 3 days or something, and put on antidepressants. And it was just something that kind of has been a part of my life since then. The way my depression, let me describe how my depression feels. It feels like there's a demon inside of me that wants me to hate myself. And it's like a voice telling me that I'm a loser. And it feels like on the inside I'm crying, and on the outside I'm just numb or putting up a good front. Now that's bad depression. That depression can hit every once in a while. Generally I'm medicated and well, but I know that it still comes around every once in a while. Along with anxiety. Anxiety is fear and worrying, and basically it's like your mind talking. It's your mind like telling you things to be worried about. I get anxiety sometimes because I know that I'm a weird guy. I'm a little bit different, and I like the way I'm different, but I do know that I'm different, and I feel weird about it sometimes. But I've just accepted my depression as something that is always going to be around. I've become familiar with it. I've tried to make friends with it in a way.
How do you control it? There's some days it takes over, or...
Yeah, sometimes it's just kind of light.
You as a person that suffer from depression, what message would you give out to those that's new to it or trying to understand it? And since you've been
for our newcomers in the depressed group, no, I have a lot of advice. I'll just give it to you from my personal experience. First of all, depression is such a emasculating and pansy disease to have. You can't really go toe to toe with this real serious disease, you know? Like a guy can come up to you and be like, you know, my disease is kidney failure. What's yours? And I'm like, I get sad sometimes. Sometimes I'm not always happy.
That's a feeling that only you know that feeling. No one else could understand what you're feeling, and that's scary.
Yeah,
because you
but
can't
still,
really. Yeah, you.
I like to make fun of it in a way. Depression's so stupid.
Yeah, but it's
so stupid because really it's all false. It's not actually reality. But I can't stand toe to toe with a guy with like real disease. I've also found that you can tell how depressed somebody is by how much dust they have on top of their ceiling fan. One time I went to go clean a ceiling fan for somebody.
Who came up with that? How much dust they have?
Yeah, I was talking with my friend Thais, my Venezuelan friend, who's got a really cute accent. She's a cool friend. And we were talking about depression and stuff. And I said, you can tell how much somebody's depressed by their surroundings. Like their room's messy, like they're not feeling good. But if you have like a 1/4 inch of dust on your ceiling fan, like I went over to clean somebody's ceiling fan one time for my mom. And I got up there and it's a 1/4 inch of dust. And I looked down at her from the ladder and I go, how long have you been depressed? You know, there's certain clues. One time I was going through a real bad depression at work when me and you worked together, and you kind of knew when it was happening. And one day I just didn't know what it was. I just hated life. And I was working on repairing a piece of equipment. And I realized that I had a rock in my shoe. So I took off my shoe and I emptied the rock. And I was much, much happier. I think my whole depression that day was due to the fact that I had a rock in my damn shoe and I kept walking around working like that. Black Jesus, you're laughing at my suffering, man.
Okay. All right.
I remember exactly the day it happened, where it happened. I found the rock in my shoe. I'm like, I feel better now. It's good to laugh. I think one way I deal with my depression is by making life as fun as possible, whether that's improvising weird characters when you're picking up groceries, telling a completely fake story to the cashier at Publix. Just make life fun. I got Black Jesus. What did you think about my depression when you saw me going through depressed times? Like when you saw that I was just in it.
It's scary because you could look. I could see it in your face.
Oh, that's not good.
I can see it in your face that your soul is troubled, and you're trying to keep a straight face and trying to smile, but realistically, it's something deeper that's inside of you that you have no control over, that takes over you. And I saw you through some bad time, and there was a couple of times that I was upset at you.
Yeah.
Because of some things, but at the end of the day,
Very complicated stuff.
you still pulled it through.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So,
But
I'm happy to see that right now you're better. I'm happy that we.
Hey, this podcast is very therapeutic for me, and it's actually weird talking about my own depression to listeners, whoever chooses to listen. This is I haven't seen a therapist that's talked about my problems in a while.
Yeah.
I got tips for depressed people, because I think it is important. One, don't drink. Drinking is depression's best friend. They love each other and they go together. Try to see your depression as something outside of you and look at it and try to make friends with it. We all have shitty friends, but we have to try to be friends sometimes with a shitty friend. But the better you know your depression and you're able to see it like it's something outside of you, the better you're able to deal with it. Make sure there's not a rock in your shoe. That would be actually my first tip. Before you go on the spiritual journey I'm about to take you on, take off your shoes and check for rocks. That might be why you're depressed. Know that this will pass. It always does. From the greatest depression, you come out of it. And then you might go through another one again, but it will pass. Try to stop thinking. Thinking is the enemy. You have to see your thoughts as separate and illusionary and actually like false statements that your depression is telling you. Appreciate nature. Just like look at a sunset, look at a bird. anything that's nature related. Listen to something. What I do is I listen to Eckhart Tolle, and he's written a few books. I listen to his audiobook, Stillness Speaks, Chapter 3, Beyond the Thinking Mind. And that's a chapter that really kind of centers me and lets me know that that this is all fake and everything's going to be cool. But it could be anything. It could be like a sermon, a podcast, something that you trust, like a voice that'll soothe you. Stay off social media. I think that's a cause of a lot of depression. You're not going to get much support off social media other than memes from people. It's all fake. Feel free to email the podcast if you want to vent. We have a phone number now. You can leave a voicemail. You can email me your phone number and I'll call you. We're here. We're here to help you. Know that you're not alone. Everybody's depressed, man, in various ways, in various degrees. Everybody's depressed. And I just like to take comfort in the fact sometimes that there are people out there that are completely much more miserable than me, and it makes me happy. Not really, but it's good to cry sometimes. It gets it out. Listen to a song that will make you cry. And you know what song it is. It's probably a song by Chicago. That's mine, go-to. Sometimes the thing, unfortunately, is that nothing helps at all. And if you're there where nothing is helping, what you do then is write it out. It's like treading in an ocean during a storm. Just keep your head above water. The storm will pass and everything will be cool. And find your own techniques on dealing with depression. Of course, if you're depressed enough to hurt yourself or others, just walk right into a hospital and say, I'm not safe. I have done that before.
Well, thank you for sharing that information and, giving our viewers a understanding of what depression is. It's a serious matter that, no one should just ignore it. If you know somebody that have depression and need help, go ahead and give them that hand. And also, if there's anything in your part as a human being, you can talk to them and really be there for them because they really need your help. All right, so we're going next.
Do something good for others.
Yeah.
Just when you're feeling shitty, this just came to me. I was feeling just depressed and out of it, and I was just out doing my job. I was sitting in a Subway restaurant, and there was one other person ordering food, and I was trying to think, what do I do to snap myself out of this? And I had a sudden impulse to go up to my buddy who's running the register at Subway, giving him my card and say, hey, this woman's lunch is on me. And she was like, wow, thank you. She was like surprised, right? And I was just like, I was just sitting there and I thought it would be just nice to pay for your lunch. I don't know. She happened to be a black lady. That did not factor into my decision.
Let me ask you, why
I wasn't
did that,
virtue signaling.
Okay,
She could have been a white lady.
Why did that had to why did you have to bring that up?
Because it's a part of the story.
She's a black lady.
It's part of the story. Dude, what if the guy had no legs? I would have said I bought the guy with no legs dinner. But hey, I would have done it to whoever was standing there at the time.
You could have left it as that.
And then she says, on the next 2 sandwiches, and I go, 2 sandwiches? Oh, I thought you were just okay, that's cool. No, she's like, oh, I feel bad because I'm actually going to get I was actually going to get 3 chips and 4 cookies too. But now I don't want to over-order.
All right.
And I said, ma'am.
All right, we're going next subject. Go ahead.
No, she said, She said, I feel bad for ordering all this. I'm feeding my kids, my 2 boys. And then I realized that I was feeding 2 young black boys. And I was like, you buy them everything. You are going to order them. Throw in a couple extra cookies on me. And sometimes doing something that nice without needing a thank you for it or anything. Just
It
something
helps.
Random. It helps
time.
you. It helps you feel better. That's White Jesus' depression.
That's what's up.
Do we have are we out of topics?
I don't know.
No.
Grab the hat.
We
Grab
had
the
we had one more topic. And we're gonna find it, man, because this
There it is right there.
this
right
podcast
next to you.
just got so depressed.
But it was a good, it was a good thing that you was able to talk about it. And,
Yeah, I really wasn't sure if I wanted to talk about my depression,
But it
or
helps
not
a million.
until
It
I
helps.
got here. But
whatever it takes to help, White Jesus.
yeah.
Whatever it takes.
Hey, we're a caring podcast. We care about our listeners. Our next topic out of the